Distinguished participants, it's a pleasure to address you today on the issue of the need to ensure accountability for the crime of aggression against Ukraine. As you know, the pursuit of accountability for all the violations of Russian Federation and its nationals in Ukraine is one of the key priorities for Ukraine. Actually, it is inside the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, peace formula under the point 7, restoration of justice. And when we talk about restoration of justice and the need for accountability and justice, we say that we need to ensure accountability for all the violations of the Russian Federation and its nationals for all the violations of international law committed on the territory of Ukraine, both including the state responsibility of the Russian Federation and the individual responsibility of the Russian nationals. It is about the securing absolute, full, comprehensive accountability, as it is called within the documents, in particular of the European Union and the Council of Europe. And when we talk about accountability, we say that we use, in particular, each and every international mechanism, instrument and tool, which gives us the possibility to sue Russian Federation and to have the action in relation to accountability of its nationals. Since 2014, Ukraine has been actively and effectively using each and every possible international court and tribunal to pursue this accountability and responsibility issue. But we feel that there are at least two important accountability gaps which we need to fill. The first one is the issue of compensations and reparations. We need to establish a compensation mechanism which would be able to address the issue of compensation and reparation to both Ukraine as a state and Ukrainian citizens and Ukraine's legal entities who really were deeply damaged by the Russian aggression against Ukraine. And the other issue is the need to ensure accountability for the crime of aggression. This is a primary crime. This is the supreme international crime which differs from war crimes, as the International Military Tribunal in Nuremberg said, only in that it entails within itself the accumulated evil of the whole. So with this said, we are sure that we need to ensure accountability for the crime of aggression as for the root cause of all the violations of the Russian Federation and all the crimes which were committed in our soul. And to this end, we need to establish a special tribunal which would be able to investigate and prosecute for the crime of aggression against Ukraine committed by the top representatives of political and military leadership of the Russian Federation. And when we say this, we need to establish a special tribunal, as today there is no international court or tribunal which could actually prosecute Russian political and military leadership for the crime of aggression against Ukraine. We've been working on this issue for a year and a half, and as of now we have reached important intermediate interim results. For instance, we have the political support of the idea to establish a special tribunal for the crime of aggression against Ukraine in the resolutions of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, European Parliament, Parliamentary Assembly of NATO, OSCE Parliamentary Assembly, several national parliaments, a lot of declarations and statements by political leaders of our international partners, European Council conclusions, decisions of the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe, and the most important intermediate result is the establishment of the International Center for the Prosecution of the Crime of Aggression against Ukraine in The Hague, ICPA, which works within the framework of the Joint Investigation Team on the basis of Eurojust. ICPA is itself a value because it is the first international effort which can prosecute for the crime of aggression in case of its real perpetration after the World War II. But with saying that we have established the ICPA, we need also to establish a special tribunal which would be able to actually use and perform and execute the results of the work of the ICPA. So that is why we believe that the special tribunal is a value and we should all work together in order to make it done. When we talk about it, we also mention the work of the core group, which now enlists 38 states participants and which we hope will really present important legal values and legal results as to how to establish the special tribunal. What we believe in is that the special tribunal must be established as the crime of aggression against Ukraine in this particular situation, having in mind the recognition of the acts of aggression by the Russian Federation against Ukraine within the resolutions of all the key international organizations, in particular the United Nations General Assembly, with the understanding that this is the biggest aggressive war, at least in Europe, after the Second World War. We are sure that we need to work together to make the special tribunal a reality. And in this regard, I want to I want to express my gratitude to our Polish colleagues and the Polish Sejm and the government, the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, for supporting us on this cause and working with us side by side in order to implement this decision, in order to make the special tribunal a reality. There are different formats and different models and different solutions how the special tribunal may be established. For us, it is important that the special tribunal must be established. For us, it is important that the special tribunal shall be as international as it can be. It shall include as much international elements as it can include in order for us to be able to say that this tribunal is not only the reaction of the victim state, of the state which faced this aggression of the Russian Federation, Ukraine, but that it is a reaction of the international community as a whole. It is a reaction of Ukraine and our international partners, with whom we work together in order to make these things done. So, in the very end, I would like to thank you for your attention, and I would reiterate that the issue of accountability for the crime of aggression against Ukraine remains one of the priorities for Ukraine on accountability track, and we are sure that there are no alternatives for the establishment of the special tribunal for the crime of aggression against Ukraine. And we are sure and we hope that together with the support of our international partners, we will make this job.